All right, we have Chad Diller here with Landscape Leadership Group, chatting about everything going on here at the GIE Hardscape North America Expo, and also here to just tell you a little more about what he does. So maybe we just start there. Chad, tell us about Landscape Leadership.
So Landscape Leadership, we are a marketing agency that specializes only in the lawn and landscape industry. And that's all we've ever done. So, CEO and myself have over 20 years experience in the industry, did the work, sold the work, marketed the work, and Chris, our CEO, started the agency probably about 10 years ago, and I joined about 5 years ago. So
nice.
Pretty much recent to the marketing agency world.
Yeah.
But we work with anywhere from 15 to 20 clients at a given time. They're kind of what I would consider like your mid-level companies, $2 to $20 million in revenue.
Yep.
And we do all sorts of things, pretty much focusing around the website, redesigning websites,
nice.
Creating really great content, video, written content as well, images, and doing some paid advertising, that sort of thing.
Nice. Yeah. Very cool. So give me a sense of, I know you're giving a talk tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Run us through that. Time, date, all that stuff, but then also if you could give a little bit of, obviously no spoilers, but kind of what are you hoping to get out of that session, get into people's brains?
Sure. So my session tomorrow is called Online Reviews, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah.
I'm sure as soon as I say the topic, people watching this are kind of, maybe some of them are gritting their teeth because it's a pain point for a lot of companies. They don't have many great reviews, or maybe all they have is bad reviews.
Yep.
And people are really frustrated because they're kind of paralyzed a lot of times trying to figure out how to make it happen. They may have tried to do things. Online reviews, specifically Google reviews, have a huge impact on search.
Huge.
Actually where you show up, how you rank, it's a definite factor there. And then the whole social proof aspect of this too. Statistic came out, recent study was done, is that 86% of people would trust an online review as much as they would as a recommendation from a family member or friend.
Wow.
In the world that we live in, at least like in my neighborhood, I don't even really know my neighbors that well.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times people will go to those sources first, or if their family lives out of the area, or maybe they just don't have a recommendation for who to use for a lawn or landscape company, they'll go online, they'll read reviews.
Yep.
So that's why it's so important to be able to do that. And the average consumer will read 2 to 10 reviews before they reach out to a company.
Yep.
So if that's not looking great for your company, we want to make sure that I equip these people with understanding the process of how you do this, because a lot of people are like, oh, okay, let's just ask people. It's not a detailed process.
Right.
I'm going to run through some examples of a really detailed, proactive process. And then you have to have the right people in your organization involved with this. Sometimes part of the process might be a marketing agency like ourselves. They're involved in a piece of it, but everybody plays a role. And so I'm going to talk about the different roles that people play. Sometimes people do more than one of those, and how that makes that process work. And then automation, so a tool that makes it not cumbersome. Any of those things in isolation don't work.
Right.
You have to have all three of them, and you have to understand what makes a good process, what makes a good tool, how does your team use it. And so I'm going to go through some examples and share some success stories of clients and how we've done that for them.
It's a huge deal. Even on the Amazon side of things, right? Like, I think that's kind of where things started with the reviews. the Google review system has been around for a long time, but every single time somebody looks at something from Amazon, one of the critical factors is that, and that is a trained thing, right?
It's
you order that stuff. Yeah, you order that, Amazon boxes show up at my door 2-3 days a week, right?
Yeah.
So like that is something that everybody is used to. So it's a huge benefit to have that process in place. So it should be really, really valuable process for everybody to hear your take on. It sounds like you've had client success stories too.
We've had some really great success stories that have like, a lawn care company that has 1,800 customers. When we started with them doing this like 2 years ago, they had 8 reviews, 3.1 stars. Now they're at like 4.8, and they're up to like 4.8 stars, and they're up to like 250 reviews.
Wow.
I have some clients over 400 now. Even the big companies. We had one that they had a really manual process internally they were using. They had in March they had 222 reviews, and they're at 409 now.
Wow.
Just by implementing a different process and a different tool. to kind of streamline this and make it happen better.
Yeah.
I mean, the reviews are great, but the other part of this is, and I share this in my presentation, it's a feedback first method, meaning if people are not happy, you're not pushing them to review, you're pushing them to give you direct feedback.
Yeah.
So from a customer service aspect and putting out small fires before they become a raging inferno, it's really beneficial because it helps you as a company understand where you're missing the mark, who the people that might be involved with that, and allow you to respond. And I don't know about you, but like I've used companies for things, and I don't really expect companies to be perfect. But when I see there's adversity and they step up to the plate and they're humble and they address my needs and make me feel important, it almost solidifies my relationship more with them versus if nothing really ever went wrong. So there's other benefits to this process for companies to see.
Yeah, a lot of times you ask for that review and you might not get that glowing review, but you have an opportunity to improve your business, right? And that's almost as valuable, and in maybe different ways, but super interesting thought. So we're in Louisville at the GIE Expo. Right now we're in the Hardscape North America section of that. I'm sure you've been in and around a lot of this stuff, or actually you said you just showed up.
Well,
not too long ago.
No, I got here yesterday, but I've been at this event a bunch of times.
Okay, so anything that you are interested to see here, or something that you have already seen that's super interesting?
Well, so, we specialize in marketing and get into sales a little bit, and it's all around digital technology, kind of leading edge technology. So like stuff like you guys are getting into. And so I would say, there's a lot of really cool equipment here, but that's not my forte and where I'm at. And there is some software here, but your platform is really interesting to me because it's in the sales experience and it connects digitally on the website and that sort of thing. So I would say anything that's of interest to me is selfishly kind of in that area.
Sure.
And I don't know if there's anything here, but there are some things going on, not necessarily in this industry, because let's face it, we're kind of behind sometimes.
Sure.
But in other industries, and some of these pieces we've started to implement with our clients on their websites that are really exciting. And it's this whole idea of interactivity, having a website that's not just static information, but changes based on how you use it, or at least provides an experience to people that they can kind of customize their path a little bit. I'm seeing kind of a push in the world towards that websites, and so we're trying to usher the industry into that. And some things that we've already done that we're doing is right now I have a client I'm testing out. It's a interactive video tool. Kind of, I don't know if when you were a kid you read the Choose Your Own Adventure books, and you went here and you decided to go here or that. So we already have some on our website. If you go to landscapeleadership.com and go to the clients page, you can see an example where I ask you some questions and you find a client that's most like your company, and then I redirect you to that page. So
that's cool.
So that's kind of a cool thing. We're doing something for some clients too to help them improve some conversion rates on the pages people come to and don't turn into a lead. That's cool. The other interactive thing that we do a lot is this whole interactive dynamic photo gallery. The common experience when you come to a website or landscaper's website is there's like all these images arranged there, and you're sorting through them, and maybe they're sorted by property, like a project or whatever, but when people come to your website, they might have that hot button, like this guy, he's the grill master, he loves outdoor kitchens, and he wants to see what you can do for outdoor kitchens. And so if you have 300 really great images, how does he sort through them by feature? And so it applies some filters so you can sort down through that. So again, a little bit of interactivity. And then another thing, that's the last thing I'll say, that we've started doing and is going to get very big, is the whole idea of e-commerce in the lawn and landscape industry. We have a contractor that sells a lot of sod delivery. And so we've built out a platform on his website where people can go in, enter their zip code, actually answer a few questions to decide which sod's right for them, and literally just pay for it. And people are purchasing thousands and thousands of dollars, half a truckload of sod delivered to their house. And so that's one thing. And we're getting into this too, as well as people purchasing a lawn care program, sizing their property, and doing it, that e-commerce transaction. Because let's face it, people prefer a seller-free experience now. They don't like dealing with salespeople. They try to do as much as they possibly can to avoid that. And so it's not every consumer, but it's good for companies to have a path for people that want to have that kind of experience.
Yeah, and one of the things that we talk about a lot is, if you are confident that you want to run a sales process a specific way, why not guide them that way, right? So the e-commerce, there are certain things that, you want to have some optionality there, but at some point you want to run your sales process, and so there's some prescription there as well, but giving the homeowner the opportunity, or the end client the opportunity to kind of go through themselves, make progress themselves, like they do in almost every other buying experience, that's what they want. So, and until the point where they have a question, they want to have the ability to get help. So you need to have that there too, but it's a super interesting trend that is certainly here to stay. And COVID, there's the COVID trend that pushes it that way too. There's all sorts of stuff we can jump into, but totally agree with all that you just said. I'll have to go check out some of those some of those things you mentioned on your portfolio of clients. So kind of wrapping it up here, the HubSpot world. I know you're kind of a HubSpot fan. Give us a sense of how your group interacts with HubSpot, uses HubSpot. I think I'm fairly familiar with the ecosystem. There's a lot there. Tell us how you work inside of that ecosystem.
Sure. So full disclosure, Landscape Leadership is a HubSpot partner. That's what we've used for our clients for marketing activities as well as hosting websites, and some of them actually use it for parts of their sales process as well. So if you don't know what HubSpot is, just Google them and you'll find a gazillion amount of pages of information. They're pretty much second to Salesforce, as far as adoption.
But in small business perspective, HubSpot is
HubSpot's cool
huge.
though because it is a platform that it has a free CRM. And it's better than a lot. I'm not going to say it's better than a lot of things that you will find out there. It connects with over 400 programs. So anything as simple as your Outlook 365 or Gmail. If you're emailing out of there, it goes into the CRM. All kinds of crazy things like that it connects with. And a lot of those connective tools are actually free, and some of them people might already be using. So we love it for that. It's simple, but it's really powerful. And it's one of the things for your business that you can use, you can scale it. So they have like free model, starter model, pro model, and enterprise model. So as your company grows, you can add more features and more costs as you get more sophisticated. And you can do this not only on the marketing side, but also sales, service, and now they have an operations hub, which is meant to connect it with a lot more programs. So that'll be exciting as well in the future. So the reason we use it selfishly is because we love the platform to build websites on. I mean, it performs really well. It allows us to change things really quickly and create really unique things instead of spending all this time going developers over and over again. So for website experience, it's great, but it gives us a lot of insights with the marketing. So, I can see, if someone comes to your website and they fill out a form, I can see every time, I can see who's there, what they're looking at, but if they have identified themselves in the form, think about design build. I mean, people don't just like wake up one day and decide, I want to spend $100,000 in my backyard. So they might be on your website from time to time checking things out, and you can set up notifications if you want that this contact's back again. You can trigger automation, like if this person comes back and they do X, I want to send them that over a period of time. And you can make it really contextual. Like they're looking at something with outdoor kitchens. I want to send them the outdoor kitchens buyer guide because they visited this page, or whatever it might be. So it's a very sophisticated tool. We love that. And the fact that you can start using it for certain pieces and then bring other things into the mix later just makes it really exciting for us because our companies, they're 2 to 20 million, so they start kind of every year they're like, okay, we tackled that, now how can we get a little bit more sophisticated in our process.
And HubSpot, I mean, we use HubSpot as a CRM really, and what you can do with the free version is really, really impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, just from an email tracking perspective alone,
Yeah.
you get to see when people open an email, right?
Yeah.
Like this is like
what they clicked on.
What they clicked on. Yeah, you can tag links and tag the contact that they did this or that. And, it does get fairly complex, but out of the box, it is very full featured.
Yeah.
More so than most other types of systems out there. So we are big fans of HubSpot as well. So kind of wrapping things up here. What did we not cover that maybe you wanted to talk about?
Nothing really. I mean, I would just encourage anybody that might be watching this, just follow me on LinkedIn. My main intention for me into the show is to connect with our existing clients. We're a little different than other marketing agencies. Like, we don't have a booth here. We're not looking to have 50 or 100 clients. But one thing I love, and every time I come to one of these industry events, it's more and more satisfying. I've been in the industry since '98, and you see all these new people that you've gotten to know.
Yeah.
And for me, I feel like I'm a teacher first, so I like to teach people about what's there or what could be possible.
Right.
And the best thing for me is just for people to connect with me and interact with content, ask me questions or whatever. I mean, I'm not after, growing, all these accounts and stuff. I mean, if someone comes to me and they want to work with us, we can discuss that. But I just would love to get connected with people and to find out, products like yours, new things that are kind of shaking up, technology, and just answer questions, have great discussions.
And I'll plug for Chad's LinkedIn content. It's super creative. It's totally different. We got a photo bomb from another customer here. What's up? The whole Burning River crew here.
Yeah.
So Chad's content on LinkedIn is awesome. It's super informative. Comes at it from a different angle. It's not boring. It's just creative stuff.
I'm a little bit of a goofball sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be a goofball to stand out and do that stuff. And it's authentic though. It's not like shock factor stuff or anything like that.
I just hate boring.
Yeah,
normal.
It's so easy to put that out, right? Yeah. But you just become one of the pack, right?
Yep.
So you do a nice job standing out. So kudos on that, and go give Chad Diller a follow on LinkedIn, and appreciate you stopping by to have a chat, man.
Sure, man. Thanks. It's great to finally meet in person.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.